So I want to show you how the MCP server can create and delete instances. We'll start at the end here by showing you that there's a test instance running, and there is of course an egress network, and the egress network has the MCP test egress connector, and it is online. So we'll now go to the MCP server, and let's say, because we just used this to create the MCP server, let's say delete the MCP test connector. The steps involved will be to probably try to select it. It's selected. And now we're going to delete the selected object. Here is successfully deleted the connector. The AW provisioning has been initialized, terminated, etc. And the streaming has failed. And you know why? It's because we brought down the internet. So now we have no internet. And if we go to where's my, really doesn't matter where we go because we're going to get the same thing. We're going to get a failure to load, right? This is going to be stop loading the page, and even though it has some memory, it's basically going to fail. So to continue, we need to disconnect this profile. That will put us back in, and now you can see we're in Denver. So the VPN is down. If we go to CloudConnexa and refresh, we will see that there are no connectors, and as a consequence, the network itself is offline. Now we will reverse that process and add a connector. Add a connector to the egress network named new egress test. Remember that name because we're going to see it in a minute. On US West .-1, US West -1. Okay, we click on that. Because we have to click retry here because that failed. Does that mean I missed my... I think he deleted my message because it was like in a weird state. All right, I'll try it again. Add a connector to the egress network in US West -1 named test egress. Enter. Okay. Now we get a select object tool. That's the egress network. Now it's going to create the connector tool. It wants me to approve it. I'll just look at this real quick. Test egress US West 1. That looks good. It will approve. So it has gone through and done a series of things here. Let's go through some of the things that it did. Success. The network connector created successfully. The network item created has these qualities. You can see that it's offline, licensed, true, etc. Now here's important, the AWS provisioning results. We have a VPC, we have a region. We have an AWS name. We have a public egress requested. Open VPN profile provided. Public IP is null. Note, open request instant is started. The EIP association and final checks will occur in the background. This is the elastic IP, and so for the public IP will be populated retrospectively, but it is probably not populated at the point that this returns. We can't wait for it to return because there's a timeout. And it just takes too long to return. So there's a subnet. There's a subnet that's created, as well as all these rules, etc. And now here we have, of course, the certificate. Now the certificate is showing here, but we don't have to show it, and obviously we don't have to feed it to the AI, which would become a bit of a hassle. So now let's go to the instances. Here's the old instance that we had, but remember we deleted this one. So when we refresh, what we'll see is the old one has been terminated and it's in the process of shutting down. The new one has been started and it's in the process of initialization. When we go to the elastic IP, we see that here's the elastic IP and it's getting ready to support that new one as well. We have security groups, the old, the new, etc. And if we go to VPC, I think we can see the subnet that was created for this instance. But I'm going to go back to instances now and see if we can find anything. Let's see if VPC is here. Is VPC an option here? A little tricky to get VPC from here. To some extent, we kind of have to wait for this. And now it has 3 tests of 3 checks has passed. So that means that we have booted up. So we created all these instances, we booted up that test egress option. We can go now to CloudConnexa. This is offline, except if we refresh, we're going to see that, in fact, it is online. We have a connector. Here's this all connected and so forth. And if we now go and connect the local system, now we're connected. I'm going to disconnect this for just a second longer to show you the what is address. It's fresh. It's in Denver, right? But as soon as I connect to the network, and refresh this page, it's going to come back in San Francisco. So what have we done? We have used the MCP to create a connector, well actually to delete the existing connector, deprovision the existing connector and delete it, and then create a new connector and provision it and validate that in fact it is connected and the traffic, internet traffic, is being routed through it. So I hope that explains how the MCP connector not only can create local objects within the CloudConnexa system, but it can also provision services in the AWS system required to support the CloudConnexa, the full experience within CloudConnexa, which is the egress nodes. And because it can create egress nodes, it means that CloudConnexa is a very user-friendly experience from the MCP server. No particular knowledge is needed to create the exit nodes at this point because the exit nodes are created by the AI. Now, managing them, keeping track of them, etc., that's going to become a little more complicated. But generally speaking, you can stand them up and they can work using the MCP server as it is today. Thank you for watching this short video.